Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Beyond the Paranormal podcast. And tonight looks like it's just me and Critina, and that's all
Yes,
good. Um,
we can
Rihanna has no
handle it.
yeah, Rihanna has no power, which we're going to talk about all this stuff.
It's
And
been a rough week in the bluegrass, a very rough week.
it's been a rough couple of weeks, to say the least.
Yeah.
This, because the officers lost their lives, which still really aggravates me. And then now we have the devastation of this flood that just come through.
Yeah. You got to see it firsthand. You live in Martin. So,
Well, no, not really, because Martin really didn't.
well, downtown Martin always floods if somebody flushed the toilet too many times, but
Oh God, we're not doing it. We're not making fun of that.
no.
Down the
But
corner.
like the like I went in like Garrett, Knott County, Hazard, like we're because Rihanna's out there. Like it's bad. Like it is the stuff that nightmares are made out of. Like it's a true horror movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're still
This.
waiting on assistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to turn down my volume here so that way people can hear me. And we are. I'm actually in the chat room on YouTube.
Oh,
So
look
if
at
you
you.
guys are in here, just come on in. I will jump back and forth. And hey, we're here. So, yeah,
So how
yeah,
you
a lot of
doing, John? How you doing? How you doing really?
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because we've had nothing but outages at work, and you know, to hear everybody losing everything, it's very it's very upsetting because
It's
I
hard.
can't do nothing other than just donate something.
But
So
you know what? Donations are really helping. Like you can see that. And so many people in the community have been helping. And I think that's what Kentucky is all about. And a lot of people give Kentucky a lot of crap, like Kentuckians in general, like we're barefoot, we're rednecks, we marry, our cousins or whatever. They've always got all these weird things to say about Kentucky. But the truth about Kentucky is that we are here for one another no matter what. Like we've got each other's backs when it hits the fan, like Kentuckians know that they can count on each other. Like at least that's been my observation. Maybe not everybody, but for the general, like you see people who've lost everything themselves that are out helping their neighbor who also lost everything. Like
hmm
it's very selfless, and everybody's just kind of pitching in. Um, so let's just hope that the rain that they've been predicting all week holds off. I know there was more rain yesterday, and other parts of Kentucky were flooding again. Let's hope that those hold off so that these people can recover a little bit because Lord knows they need it.
okay, well, looks like our guest cannot make it tonight because his browser does not support our link, but oh well.
Well, we do what we can.
Yeah.
Maybe another time. Maybe another time. So,
If there wants to jump on and hang with us this evening and talk some good old ghost hunting and stuff, come on in. Come on in.
oh yeah, like that would be really cool. Actually, like to talk to some folks about their personal experience. I love hearing about people's personal experiences. I don't know about you, but like that's kind of like my. It's very, especially if it's somebody who's not rehearsed or anything. Like they're just coming on spur of the moment, telling you about something that happened to them. So I think that's just the coolest, honestly. Um,
Yeah. A lot of people have a lot of experiences, and you know, uh,
Speaking
have
of
to just listen.
experiences, you were worried last week that you could have possibly had an attachment again. Um, was that a thing? Like you were saying that it felt kind of weird at home. Um,
No, everything's cool.
okay,
Actually,
good, good.
I felt. I guess it was just the first time back out kind of ordeal. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, I mean, no, everything's cool.
You had some interesting EVPs for sure. Like those were exciting.
Yeah, you got the one that says "Welcome to Williamson."
Yeah, that one it's like they could have been the people greeter for that place, you know? And I saw Tanya announce that they're doing, what is it, like an escape room kind of thing?
Yep, escape. Can you escape?
That looks really cool. I was like, that sounds like fun.
I don't know that Michael Myers that got man. He's like extremely tall,
Oh, okay.
very, and I
Like,
I don't care. I don't want to do with him.
like he's too tall. It freaks me out.
I would like to I'm doing my Halloween. I was just going to say it right now. Everybody knows I do my Halloween thing every year. I don't think I did it last year, but throughout the month of October, I'll put up interviews for my Halloween bash that I do. And I'm wanting to interview like somebody dressed up like Michael Myers and just
Oh,
try
that'd
to
be cool.
interview him. And then, yeah, I think it'd be cool, but I think some people think it'd be pretty stupid, but I don't care. It's what I like.
I
I
think,
like stuff like that. I mean,
I think it'd be fun. I think that sounds
yeah.
like fun.
Oh, it would be fun.
Especially if he never says a word and he just like is staring at you the entire time. No, I'm just kidding. It's like he can't talk. But that sounds neat. I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on, folks. I'm so sorry. Our guest is messaging me right now.
I know in October, I'll be coming back with my podcast too that I do on the side, which is This House is Haunted, which I'm working on right now, trying to get everything together for the second season, which I'm excited about. I didn't think I'd make it through the first season, so I'm pretty pumped that I'm working on the second season now. So that's something to
Hey,
look forward
if
to.
anybody has a question or anything out there for me or Crit, please put it in the chat room. We'll answer you.
Yeah.
So definitely put that out there. I was looking at the equipment that they call it for paranormal stuff,
Okay.
and I just think the SLS camera is a joke. It's a joke.
I don't know a whole lot about the equipment that comes. The only thing I ever used was my cell phone. That's the only equipment I've ever used. And I don't really do the ghost hunting thing because, like, you already know that. Like, it's
Yeah.
not my thing. But what is a SLS camera? Like, what does it do?
So basically, it's a 360 connect is all it is.
What does that
So
mean for somebody who's not tech savvy at all, like me?
you know of 360 Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, okay,
It's
yeah.
the connect that they use to like dance, whatever
Oh,
that motion jabberia got,
like the
whatever.
little thing that like scans your body and like
Yeah,
follows the
yeah,
movements and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I No, I'm sorry, but that's a crock of crap.
Is that
Why
the
don't
thing that
you?
shoots the dots on the walls? Like what's that?
No, don't sass the scratch. Don't you sass that. That
I
is
don't know what
awesome.
it is.
That's a laser grid.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
all that is just, Lord, we're going to take you to school and show you. All right,
Well, we got a few minutes, so take me to school. Why not?
paranormal education is in session. Okay,
Okay, Mr. The Bod.
okay. No attitude, ma'am. No attitude. All right. Anyway, so the SLS is an Xbox 360 device that it recognizes your body and shows your emotion and stuff, whatever, with the video game. I don't believe that at all whatsoever. Period.
Could it
Because
be
that type
hacked
of,
or something?
well, yeah, it can be hacked. I mean, that type of piece of equipment, I just nay, no,
No, no.
now.
You need that on a shirt for real. Nay, no. Like
Yeah,
that's your thing.
I do. Sir, do you want this hot tamale? Nay.
No.
Mm-mm.
Nay.
Anyway,
That's not for me. I'd love a tamale right now.
um, God, don't get me started talking about Taco Bell. Good Lord.
They don't make tamales, do they?
I don't care. It's all taco related.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
do love any kind of
anyway,
Mexican.
any hootenanny. Now we're going to talk about the laser grid. The reason why I don't like the SLS is because I feel like it could be manipulated. I feel like it just I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
it can map out your body and you not even have to be standing there. That's just me. I don't like it. I just don't like it at all. Period. But to each is their own. If you like it, hey, knock yourself out. If you want to see all this equipment that they're using on TV, just because they use on TV, you have to get it. No, you don't. No. But anyway, the laser grid, which I have a laser grid pin, is very cool because you have different grids of the laser that you could choose from, to span out. I want to use that, and I'm just going to say where we're going to be going to next year, hopefully. I want to use that at Pinhurst next year. So that way we can get a wide range of that grid and just leave a video camera running, and see what happens, see what we get.
So that would detect like any kind of movement, correct? Like
in theory, if anything passes through that grid, it will block it out.
But does it have to be physical, or is it like energetic, or because there's so many different theories on like how ghosts and spirits and stuff manifest. Like, would it have to be something solid?
Well, I mean, when a spirit walks through, or you see a shadow figure, or whatever, it's still gonna block it out.
Okay.
So there's no way to me that it's going to pass through and it not knock out that those grids that you see.
Okay.
That's me personally. That's me personally.
What's that thing that they use on some? I'm not going to name any shows because I don't believe on calling people out. But like, what's that thing they use on the shows where it looks like little stick figures are dancing on top of people? Like, what machine is that? Like, as long as we're talking about, is that what that is too?
Yep, SLS.
Okay. Yeah, that seems so weird. And they're like, oh, I better not. If I say too much, it's going to show who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say too much. But
now, do I like the SB7 and the Spirit Box? Yes, I do. I do like that.
What are those?
That is a little AM/FM radio that scans the airwaves, and then you can hear stuff come through.
Is it the one that's programmed with words, and then what's that one? Like that has the words programmed and it'll randomly say certain words?
That is there's the Ovulus there that says that. There is the I cannot think of the other one off the top of my head.
Ovulus sounds familiar to me. Like I've heard that before on some of the shows and stuff that I watch. That sounds familiar. Because that one always seems strange to me because it's like it's pre-programmed. Like what's to say it's a like an entity of some kind that's motivating that, like I don't know what triggers it or if it just does it on its own.
Yeah, it's basically just a dictionary full of words, and then it can just blurt out the words.
See, that seems like it could be manipulated too. Like,
yep.
That it always seemed that way to me. Like, but when they use the little, like, kind of like the staticky kind of stuff, and you get things coming through, I find that I feel like that's more believable for me anyway.
I always like a device that has like some type of white noise to it. So basically, when you use a recorder like the old Olympus recorders that I use, that one, when you go back and listen to it, it's just like it's just what static noise is, a white noise.
Did you ever see that movie White Noise with Kevin? Was it Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
I love that movie. I thought it was so creepy, about basically like those guardians and stuff that are in there that are like trying to prevent spirits from speaking through the white noise. I thought that was a movie before its time. I feel like I don't feel like it got the play it deserved.
There's a lot of incidents where I've heard about that is true. I've heard about where the stronger entity will not let the lesser powerful entity talk. I mean, if it's less power, guess what? You don't have no say so. I do like the ITC, just like the Spirit Box. I like the Spirit Box. That's just me. So I don't know. Okay. I like it.
Well, also I value your opinion. I value your opinion.
I also like using the old tape recorders. Just get old cassette tape, pop it in, hit record, and go.
I saw one of those in a Walmart the other day, and I almost fell over. I was like, "They still sell these?" And it was at a random one too, like in Frankfurt or something. I was out in the field.
I like those. I do, because that's the old way of paranormal investigating. It's what you used to use back in the day.
It's a lot
Um,
harder to manipulate something like that too, because it's a true capture.
mhm.
Like you can't go in and like digitally edit it easily anyway, not on the spot if you're using the tape to play back.
I was looking around to see all of my stuff that I have, because normally I got to lay it all around me. But I've got a Zoom recorder. It's one of the big. It's basically like a recording studio in your hand, pretty much.
Wow.
Um, I've got that one. I've got another Zoom recorder. I'm a big Olympus and Zoom fan when it comes to recorders and podcasting stuff. Zoom. This is what I use right here. My recorder. That's a Zoom. That's my podcast setup. Um, but now my mic is a Shure microphone. A lot of people like what they like. I don't believe. Me and Roberts discussed this. We don't believe in having a lot of equipment, but equipment that we do have, we want to have a backup. We want to have plenty of recorders, plenty of extension cords, plenty of like batteries, rechargeable batteries, stuff like that. And especially when we do our paranormal um, live stream events. When we have other people come with us, we want everybody to have a recorder, but we also want recorders to be stationary, to where you can put a recorder up anywhere and just let it go. You know, Sometimes we've caught some very good stuff with stationary recorders just set up. We've caught ambient sounds, stuff that actually happened in that location, whatever. You know, uh, we've caught a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. We do need to get some more equipment for all this that we're doing, but eventually we will just get one piece at a time. Sweet.
Okay, Johnny.
Right.
All
Do you
right,
know Chris
Johnny.
Stapleton? Chris Stapleton was in Walmart the other day, Monday.
I do. I do know that. I saw it. And then he actually stopped in the gas station where my sister in law works. And she didn't know who he was because, he's wearing, you know, dirty clothes. He's been out helping people. And how cool is that anyway? But he comes in and he's asking something and she's like giving him a hard time. And I was like, and then afterwards they were like, "Did you know that was Chris Stapleton?" She was like, no. I said, leave it to my sister-in-law to bust the chops of one of country's biggest stars. Like she's gonna bust his chops when he's in there. She has no idea who he is.
Wow.
Cracked me up. It totally cracked me up.
Um,
But I thought that
like
was pretty awesome. He was helping out.
I know this is gonna make me sound like an ass, but I'm not being an ass, folks. I'm not being that at all whatsoever. But when you have a pattern that come through like that, weather related, big time, that is your best time to do paranormal investigating,
Mm. A lot of
because it just absolutely breaks down that veil, I think. And it
there's a lot.
gives it more and it gives it more energy, you know,
Yeah.
to me.
There's a lot to be said for like the energetic shifts that happen with barometric pressure. Like there's been a lot of studies and stuff about how barometric pressure affects our living bodies. So you can only imagine that it would also disrupt things like in the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it makes sense to me. And with these solar flares and stuff that we've been having, that's also yeah, I was telling John before we got started, NASA had recently, I think just today, released a statement about solar flares being very disruptive to communications. That includes cell phone signals, GPS, like all those things are going to be disrupted, and we're just going to see some weird stuff going on. Which I personally have seen with people's cell phones. Like it's been horrible trying to get in touch with people. Not even back in Eastern Kentucky, just about anywhere. Because back there, it's to be expected because people don't have signal. People don't have they don't have chargers. Like there's a lot of things that
No.
everywhere.
A lot of
Everywhere.
people
So
think a lot of these companies, they think that we're going to turn this into the city. This ain't cities, folks. This is mountain life.
yeah.
We're lucky to get what we got, and that's it. So
It took forever. It took hundreds of years to carve out what's there right now. Because those mountains are they're tough, like that limestone it might not be the strongest stone out there, but there's a lot of it. You have to blow a mountainside out to build a house just about back there. So what people have, they've had, they've had for generations, and it's
Oh
taken a
yeah.
long time to develop the area as much as it is developed.
And we were talking about pressure. I always like when you go to these locations and floor to floor or room to room, it changes. There's that pressure you're talking about. It's like, oh
Yeah.
God, it's heavy in here. Or man, it just seems like a different world stepping into this room or this hallway. You know, it's
Hmm.
like two total different locations. And I've experienced that many times.
I feel it whenever I'm in the presence of something else, because I don't know what it is. Like if I'm in a space, especially if it's not a space that I'm familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
it can feel like I'm in a tin can
Mm-hmm.
almost. Like sound changes for me. I can become dizzy. Like all those things are kind of disrupted. Audio visual stuff is just a mess. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that all plays into barometric pressure. So I'm very fascinated by that side of it. Like I think that's very interesting.
A lot of people think that um, they'll say, well, you're sensitive. No, you're not sensitive. It's just your body can't relate to that pressure. Some people are fine like that. Some people can drive up a mountain and or go up a hill on the highway and the ears don't pop. A lot of people ears that it does pop. Mine does. Um, but when you get to that point where you're getting physically sick and you're spinning, get out of there. Yeah, get out of there, then go back and see if there's a difference. Because it could be paranormal. I mean, it absolutely could be something that's you know saying, "Hey, don't do like I did that over at the hospital on Old College Hill."
Yeah. Don't ask it to take your energy,
Mm-mm.
John. I would have swatted your behind if I heard you say that. You would have been swatted for sure.
Yeah, I made that mistake, and I guess I was just so anxious to get something to happen, and oh boy, we did. It's on that recorder. You heard it. Welcome to Williamson. So
Welcome to Williamson.
I
Clear as
just
day.
wonder, yeah, I just wonder if that was Moe's or what that was saying that. I mean, it seemed like that second floor. I've said this till I'm blue in the face. That second floor, man, was just like a hotbed of stuff. I mean, it was just so unreal, so unreal. I mean, but just without with your ears, of course, you're not going to hear it because I don't use the headphones and listen to it live and all that stuff. That's not me. I like the old school way of doing paranormal research when I go out. But I did listen to some of the audio that I could before I got up and started moving around again until I got absolutely exhausted because I got drained of my energy. Um, there was a couple times that I thought I heard something, but I wasn't 1,000% sure because it's on a digital recorder. So this new recorder that I've got, this Zoom one, I've got two new ones, and I use both of them for my podcast when I take out to the field, and the other one I just leave here to use if I, you know, don't want to pull out everything. I just take it and hook up two condenser microphones to them and just do an interview that way. Well, both of these, and I want to use them, but I don't know how confident I am in using these because they're so clear. There's no background hiss. There's no static. There's no nothing like that. And I like hello. I like to have that.
Hello.
This phone don't ring until I get on here.
A ring ding dong.
I should get on the phone. And go hello.
Hello. Hello, Clarice.
Coy, this is 8 Ball. Don't be calling here. You Coy, you done been blackballed. You are gone, son. You are out of here. You are out of the bologna sandwich club, sir.
Oh my gosh, not the bologna sandwich club.
And I did mention that today in my interview with
Thank
Jeffrey.
you. You should. You got to offer people bologna sandwich. That's now if you offer fried, then I'll be there because I got to have my bologna fried. It's got to be fried bologna.
I
It's
can
got
I can we can do a fried bologna
okay.
sandwich. We can do a regular bologna sandwich.
It's got to be crispy on the edges. I got to have crispy bologna on the edges.
Boy, we are like two squirrels. Like looks we're all over the place.
But
I have to have my bologna sandwich made specially. It has to have mayonnaise and two
Okay.
pieces of cheese. That's it.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Simple taste. Yeah.
And when I get a little wild, I gotta get a little wild sometimes.
Okay. You gotta spice it up, zazz it up.
Yeah, I like put a little bit of peanut butter on it.
What?
Yeah. Oh, girl, no, what? Hey, girl.
I have never heard of that. That's just interesting. Hey, there's no food shaming here, but like, because I like some weird foods, but I never heard of that.
Rob is in the chat room. Urban Verse.
That's a cool name.
I heard those footsteps with my own ears at the time. Was glad the camera picked them up too. And Rob is the one that will tell you he don't hear or see much at all. But for him to hear the footsteps, that just clarified because there was nobody on the third floor. He's like, "Did you happen to hear anything?" And like, nope. But when he did play that back for me, I heard it too. It was like thud, thud, thud. You heard like 3 footsteps. So peanut butter.
When I was watching you guys, there were several times that he was like, you'd be like, "Did you hear that?" He's like, "No." I was like, he's just straight up. I love that.
That's how we've always rolled, and
Yeah.
that's why I love about Rob, because I mean, like, look, man, do you see this? I don't recall. Okay, and we can. Oh man, I'm what I meant to say was I'm glad that we're going to be able to start filming more, because and I'm just gonna say this right now, for anybody who comes back and listens to this podcast, we are looking for somebody to be our camera guy. So, and here's the benefits of being our camera guy. You will get to go to all the investigations for free, unless it's a big, huge location. And then we all have to pitch in money. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Everybody has to. If we have enough space, you can ride with us, or you can take your own vehicle, whatever floats your boat. We do not care. If we have to stay overnight, you can stay you can pitch in me and Rob for a room, or you can get your own room, whatever. We'll buy your food. I mean, this is all you gotta do is just help us with the equipment, pack the film the event, whatever. And if you want to join in, you're more than happy to.
Well, that's generous. I feel like that's pretty generous.
That is an even playing field deal. That's right.
I see that Rob also said, "Just tell it like it is." LOL. So, yeah, yep. I love that. I love when people are matter of fact and they say what they're thinking. You know, like it's not.
That's what works good with me and him, is because it's like, man, hey, I think I saw this, but I'm not for sure. Especially like when he's filming or whatever, he's like, "Well, I'll go back and take a look at it." I was like, man, I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, but again, my eyes could be playing tricks on me, because, like I said, it's been over 15 years since I stepped foot back to an investigation, and I was a little leery, but after the event, I'm hooked again. In my pit of my stomach, I'm a very happy little fat man.
Well, good.
So, what do you? Oh
no, I'm having too much fun over here. I just got this recently, and I just love it. It lights up. Isn't that cute?
When am I going to get my big, huge Danzig or Metallica poster, my artwork, whatever?
Dude, like, we've been cramming trying to get things together for Scarefest, because we have our booth there, of course, Keepsake Imaginarium, and like trying to get design stuff done for that. And then, like, this is the first time, but I'm going to try and sell some of my original artwork there too, like my spooky stuff that I've done.
Yes.
But there's a couple pieces that I'm definitely not selling, like the Jason Voorhees mask one that I just did. Like, I love that. Like, it's on my wall staring at me right now. Like, I feel like it turned out with the forest and stuff in the background. Like, I feel like that turned out really well. But I'm doing a whole series on ghosts. Like, that's my thing right now. Like, I love things with ghosts. Like, I just find them, I don't know. There's something sweet, but then also menacing about them. Like I like to paint them in the forest, particularly because it reminds me of back home and all the spooky stories you hear and those kinds of things. And I imagine like maybe I'll leave my ghost. If I leave a ghost someday, it's going to be wandering the mountains of eastern Kentucky, most likely. So
You
I
know,
imagine
you know,
myself doing that.
you know what really frustrates me is like you see these big places on TV, and I mean I know it's TV and I know it's built up for TV, but it really frustrates me that you go to these places, you do investigations, nothing ever happens like you see in these videos and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
and I understand that they're trying to get people in. I completely understand that. But I watched a guy, Relic, who I watch every weekend on Twitch. And people were aggravating him to go to a haunted hospital or just any haunted location. So he went to the Yorktown Memorial Hospital in Texas. I don't know exactly where that's at down there. I didn't get that part. Only a few things happened to him. I thought was very interesting. People like built it up so bad, saying that he couldn't stay there or nobody could stay there more than 10, 15 minutes. These ghosts would attack you, push you up against the wall, all this horse crap. Horse crap. And Relic was there. He only thing he heard was some weird noises, and I could vouch because I heard them too. Because I was like, "What was that?" And then it's old hospital. Things happen. I mean, shit, old pipes, everything. Very hot in Texas, and I don't know how cool it is at night down there, but I mean, that could have had something to do with it. I'm always on the fence of not everything's paranormal. Nothing. I mean, not everything's paranormal. But he, him and Sam went into the kids' room where they had the toys. Sam opens up this huge door, sis, and one of the toys just starts going off.
Ugh, no thanks. That's all I say to that.
Hey, this toy has been there for a long time.
That reminds me of Poltergeist way too much. That movie terrified me as a kid. Anything with toys doing weird stuff, count me out. Count me out.
Well, he was like, I got to find out what's causing this. He thought it might have been, motion censored,
Mm-hmm. Triggered
but
somehow.
yeah, but he picked it up while it was going off. Relic picks the thing up while it's going off. I'm going, dude, what are you doing? And it just kept playing and kept playing. I was screaming in the chat room. I was like, open the freaking battery hatch thing up and look in there. You know? He never did, but that was one thing. The next thing, his car alarm outside goes off by itself. So, I mean, he could have like bumped it in his pocket, whatever. I don't know, but to me,
unruly raccoons body slamming each other on the windshield. Like, who knows?
Yeah, ugly biscuits out there. Anyway, so they he goes outside and he's turns it off, and I was like, man, that could have been a sign for you. They didn't want you in there, and they wanted you out to do something.
Maybe. I look at a lot of things as signs. Like I just kind of observe the temperature of the room I'm in. You know what I mean? Like the vibe that's going on, and like all of that plays a role. Speaking of vibes, you want me to read an oracle card for you?
No.
They're oracle cards. They're not tarot.
No, because they're always wrong. There's always something bad. Always.
No, that's not the kind of cards these are.
Okay.
So
if I say stop, you'll stop.
Well, I want you to think of a situation or a question that you might have, and you don't have to say it. You can just think it internally because I know that's pretty personal. I don't know. I just caught a vibe. I was like, I want to do a card for John. Let's see what's going on with John.
What do you mean vibe? What's that mean? What do we mean a vibe? What are we talking about?
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Like that. Okay. Maybe you had something on your mind or something. I don't know. You seem really drained today, and that's why I was like, maybe there's something that we need guidance about, like to help with that drain, that drained feeling.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what it is after you get done with this. Or do
Okay.
you now?
Okay.
You
So I'm
okay.
gonna go through them, shuffling the deck. It's
Oh
right
God. Oh
It's
Lord.
good. It's good. It's the Moonology Oracle card deck, and it's all about like positive guidance. So it's not like you're gonna die, a terrible death on the side of the road. No, nothing like that. Like
Don't
this,
eat that. Don't eat that slab of pizza that looks good. It ain't good.
don't eat that gas station egg sandwich. you know,
Ooh, no, that tastes like ass.
episode of
No,
Futurama. Did you ever watch Futurama? There's an episode where he eats a gas station egg sandwich, and he gets these parasites. Anyway, so
yeah,
okay. So
I used to. I just can't get into that show.
oh, I used to love it. Bender was my favorite. Okay. So what we've got for you, it's the first quarter moon card. And what it says on the actual card itself is your commitment is being tested.
For okay.
There's you feel like there's some sort of blockage or obstacle in your life that like you're maybe on the cusp of something that you really, really wanted, and that like the whatever struggles or situations that you're moving through right now, like it's a test, and that could, I feel like that's kind of a generalization because that could be said for most people, like in life. Like I feel like most of us feel like that we're in that kind of situation where we're just waiting for something to happen or a sign or some sort of guidance or whatever. But
Mhm.
I'm trying to look up specifically in like, because I have a little book that goes with it too, because I'm still getting used to this deck. But that's the first instinctual thing that I got from that. And usually it's like one of those cards that's like you're halfway there kind of deal. Um,
Oh, you're halfway there.
oh, living on a prayer.
Take
Okay,
my hand, we'll make it
make
all
it, I swear. Y'all didn't know it was going to be karaoke hour, did you? Oh my
right.
God, that would be so much fun. Can
I
you
don't think
imagine
so.
us at karaoke? I
I
love
know.
going to I love karaoke. It's one of my favorite things because I just make a
No,
happy fool out of
because
myself.
I don't think they would have my favorite song of all time to sing karaoke live, and that would be the Rollins band "Liar."
Oh my gosh. I but you'd be surprised on some of the things. And I was exactly right. So it's like one of those things, you're halfway to your goal, that you need to stay committed to your dreams and move toward them with confidence. So no like half button things, like
Yeah,
if you
this my podcast, Bod's Mayhem Hour, is my baby, and I'm not taking no for an answer no more. You know,
no matter when you pull this card, you need to see any dramas as a stepping stone to where you want to be. It can also be a time when you need to stay strong through a storm. So I know for you, you feel like a lot of your life has been a storm, like
yeah,
to
it
get your
has. I mean, my life, and I'm not saying oh woe is me or whatever, but I just feel
right.
like I don't feel like the world owes me anything. It's just I just I don't know. I'm so frustrated.
So you
I
said you wanted to share what you were thinking. So what were you thinking about?
I want to win the lottery big time, so that way all my troubles will go away.
Is that what you were thinking about when I pulled the card?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so maybe it's saying you're halfway there. Who knows? Maybe that's because your other podcast is going to hit it big, and you're going to disappear and forget all about us here in the
No,
paranormal.
I would never do that. I would love to have this as my go to, and my ultimate goal is to have my own house, to have my own big podcast studio. That's what I want.
Yeah, manifest it. And you're doing that like every time you commit to, like doing these interviews, even when you don't feel well, or because music is something you've always been passionate about.
Oh
You've
God,
never
yeah.
been about it, and then the paranormal, of course, as well. But music is your baby, and it always has been since you were a wee young lad when I first met you all those years ago.
Since I loved blood sandwiches, I was a wee little bitty bitty.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it would be interesting. Do you ever talk to the folks that you talk to, like the musical guests and stuff? Does it ever get into you talking about, because I know you're working on some stuff right now and maybe you don't want to go into it, but do you ever talk about paranormal stuff with like your musical folks, or is that something you just draw a line in that you don't really go
I
there?
want to try to branch it off, but I want to see if possibly for October, maybe we can get some on this show and have some music involved with a little bit.
Yeah. I just wonder. I'm curious because I know there's, you know, there's some shows that have been on TV and stuff where they have certain celebrities and stuff who share their, paranormal experiences. I know, like somebody who I love to hear talk about it is Dan Aykroyd. Now I know he's not going to be on your music show, even though he was in the Blues Brothers, and it would be perfect if you could ever get Dan Aykroyd on there. I would be so excited for you.
I've
And
reached
it's
out
not,
to Dan. I've tried to find a contact for Dan Aykroyd, and I can't.
how cool would that be to like to talk to him? Because when he was on the UFO stuff, which I know we want so badly to have somebody to talk to us about UFOs, guys, if you know anybody, if you can network us with somebody who can talk to us about UFOs and that kind
Yep.
of side of the paranormal, we are wanting to talk about it so bad, but it's so hard to find somebody. I know John's tried, I know I've tried, and I'm sure Reese tried. Like, we've all really looked for somebody, and I think the closest we got was talking to Mark Tabata because he'd had personal experiences with
I think I,
UFO.
I think with UFOs, it's still that kind of like paranormal was back in the day.
Yeah,
It's still on that edge of like, well,
it just, I don't know how people can believe that there aren't UFOs like as big as the universe is, you know? Like,
well,
I'm like,
they do, unfortunately. I mean,
I know. I
some
know.
people, I mean, I understand some people has their own beliefs, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But when I always say, hey, when it comes and hits you in the face, it's going to be it's going to shake you up. It's going to be a world awakening.
And I saw one, like, and it's granted, it's been 20 something years ago. And I was with Heather Joe. No, we were not listening to Man in the Mirror.
Oh
We were
crap!
not listening. We were not listening. I knew you were going to, I knew it. It's
I
like we were.
the man in the mirror.
We were not listening to Man in the Mirror. It was like 3 a.m. We were coming back from the lot in Prestonsburg. We'd been out hanging out with our buds, and we were driving up the Garrett Hill, and we get halfway up there, and we see something come over the top of the hillside, like a very bright light, and it's hovering there. And she's driving her little Toyota Celica, like that she had, her little sporty Celica. And we see it at the same time, and she immediately takes her foot off the gas and starts to pull over on the side of the road. And I was like, no. So I took the steering wheel and I jerked it over, and I was like, put your foot on the gas. This is how every alien abduction starts, is when you pull over. You are done for. Do not pull over. This is like a horror movie waiting to happen. But as soon as I said that, like, it was hovering there, and it was so bright, John. It looked like the sun came out in the middle of the night. I
Damn.
mean, 3 a.m, and it's the only time this has ever happened to me. I've never seen anything like this since. Now, besides the Starlink thing that I saw with my mom, well, what they said was Starlink anyway.
I don't think it was.
But she then started to accelerate. We started to get a little bit closer, and then it was just blink and it was gone. It was almost, if it hadn't been for her being there seeing the same thing, I would have thought maybe I had a seizure or something.
So did it have any noise to it at all?
None. It was dead. You know how it is in the hills back home. Like in the middle of like 3 a.m, like you have a much better chance of hitting a deer before you're going to see one. And like, unless it's summer, then the cicadas will be out. But otherwise, it's quiet as a tomb.
Oh,
like,
yeah. You're gonna hear like the bullfrogs, the crickets, stuff like that, man. And
But this was eerie quiet because we rolled the windows down because that I wanted to hear what was going on. There was no sound at all. It was almost like being in a vacuum sealed bag.
No traffic.
No, it was 3 a.m, so there was nobody else out on the road.
Geez.
So she's like, can I stay at your house? We literally ran inside, kept the lights on. My mom came in the next morning and is like, oh my God, you left these lights on all night. You're running up the electric bill. You know how, that. But we had left left on the overhead light. We left on like a lamp, and she's like, I'm still scared to go home. She's like, like, I can't believe that happened. She's like, if you hadn't been there, we still talk about it to this day. Like, we both saw that. And I don't know about her. She lives down in Berea and stuff now, and we don't get to see each other very much, but I still love her to pieces. we will talk about it every once in a while. It'll come up if we're in a group and we're talking about stuff or spooky. Look, usually around the campfire or the fire pit out back, we get to talking about that stuff. But it was terrifying, and it was in Garrett. I mean, why wouldn't that? It's isolated out there.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So absolutely, only time in my life I've ever seen anything like that.
All right, folks, we are at the end of our podcast for tonight, and
Ooh, we did it.
thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it
Yeah.
tremendously. This Saturday, I, myself, and hopefully Critina will be with us at the
Somerset.
live podcast from the International Paranormal Museum and Research Center, Saturday, August the 6th. It starts at 4 p.m.
The only reason I wouldn't be there is because of taking supplies down to Floyd County.
So we're only going to be streaming from here on out, folks. I've done decided that we're only going to be streaming when we do our live events. It would just YouTube. We'll be on Facebook to say, hey, we're going to put this on YouTube. Come watch it starting at 4 p.m. Here's a link. Go. That's it. Because it's just too hard to broadcast to everything. It's just too hard. So that's what we're going to be planning on, and we're working on other stuff to whet those taste buds for October. I'll say that right now.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm already ready. I'm ready for pumpkin spice everything. Let's go.
Not me. I am. I hate the winter. I love the fall, but that's it.
I love it all. I love the winter. I love cozy sweaters. We'll get you a cozy sweater, John, that has pumpkins on it.
No. Maybe some Misfit skulls. Maybe that.
Okay, I'll see what I can find.
I just want I want a Master of Puppets art.
Oh man,
that's
Master
what I
of
want.
Puppets blowing up right now.
Well, that album meant okay. All right. First of all, that album, you guys have no idea. You guys are no idea what y'all talking about right now with Master of Puppets, because y'all didn't even know about Master of Puppets till freaking whatever Stranger to Hell, whatever come out, and then now you guys like, y'all heard that new album called Master of Puppets by Metallica? No, it's been out for over 20 years. Go away.
I like how you do your own sound effects. That's my favorite. We need a soundboard of you doing sound effects.
I do. I want me a Johnny Bravo one, because when I go like, and it does that.
So you're good at that. That'd be perfect.
No, not really. But anyway, yeah, Master of Puppets has been out long before Stranger Deaths, whatever. Stranger Things. That what it is? Stranger. I have a stranger next door. Whatever. You folks, Master of Puppets has been out for a long time. But like I said, we are working on to get a location for Halloween, and I think we're going to be calling it the Halloween Screams Stream for us.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And I hope that if it's just me and Rob going, that's fine. If everybody, it doesn't matter. I just want everybody who tunes in and watches it, or who goes with us, has a good time. That's all it's about, and stay safe. So, and if Crit don't come this time, I'm just going to have me a little camera with her face on the front of it.
Okay.
Walking around. She better be there. There.
Hey, I told you in the beginning all this. I hate doing paranormal investigations. They scare the crap out of me.
Just come dress up like a little witch and walk around. That's what you got to do. Go, hello, the spooky spirits. I don't know why I just did there.
All right. I'll come in and be like, hello, kind spirits. Right?
Yeah. There you go.
What would do? Hello, beautiful and kind spirits.
Yeah. Hello,
spirits. She made my day when she said that. I was like, she's just a little angel on earth. Anyway, we thank you guys so much for listening to us ramble on tonight. We had fun, at least, right, John?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, this Saturday, check us out at 4 p.m. We'll be live from Somerset at the Paranormal Museum Research Institute, whatever. Yeah, I've talked too much today. But like I said, we got a lot of stuff we're working on, and I'm also going to try to collab with another ghost investigator, paranormal investigator for next year too, and
Ooh, cool.
see what happens with this. So,
Work
all
your
right, folks.
magic.
Yo, I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to. Folks, be back next Tuesday with us because next Tuesday we will have. Let me go to the Beyond the Paranormal group.
Going paranormal.
Next Tuesday is going to be a doozy. This is what I've been looking forward to. This is Thomas Wells. He is from the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Okay.
He is their caretaker. He's the guy over everything.
He's the man on the ground.
He is, and we may try to do something with him. Maybe I don't know. We just gotta work on some things. There's so much stuff that we want to do here in Kentucky, but we definitely have that on our list for sure. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Tuesday. And safe hunting out there, folks, and just stay safe. And if you can donate, to the flood victims here in Eastern Kentucky, I'm sure there's places all over that you can donate to. Just to look up at your local radio station, asking.
One great one is the East Kentucky Mutual Fund or Mutual Aid. So that's a great one that you know is going into the hands of folks on the ground in the area. So they're going to get that dispersed out just as quickly as possible. Like I always recommend, and I know John feels the same way. Like we trust somebody from the area more than we're going to trust other organizations. So the East Kentucky Mutual Aid is one that you can donate to, and they're going to make sure that ends up in the hands of the people who need it.
That's exactly right, folks. We will see you next Tuesday, and everybody stay safe. Thanks, you all.